It looks peaceful now, but Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex will soon come alive. 20 hours after a groundbreaking opening ceremony, it's day 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Yesterday, Kylie Ohlmiller watched her team blast off early. Hallie Majorana would light the fuse, while Kayla Trainer sparkled on the way to victory. Kaylee Waters was the backbone of a Team O'Donnell win in the nightcap. Her brand of goaltending, mixed with Taylor Cummings' timely goal scoring, did the trick. In the battle of KOs, we'll find out who's more than okay on Fox Sports. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Guaranteed Rates. In this league, the captains receive a lot of name recognition. Today, Team Katie O'Donnell clashes with a team led by Kylie Ohlmiller. It is great to have you on board. I'm Joe Bernardati, and it is going to be my treat to describe all the action in this inaugural season of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This league is perfectly positioned to really give the teams and these athletes the exposure they deserve. They are phenomenal talents with tremendous stories to tell, and they play this league within a very unique format. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse has 56 players on the roster. 4 teams worth of 14 that change each week with a captain's draft on Monday. The stats will add up quickly on the leaderboard. All the squads will be playing 3 times on the weekend. Here to help us understand the do's and don'ts of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Court, you and I had the pleasure of calling opening day. It was an awesome experience. What stood out for you?
First of all, 2 very different games. In our first game, we had Team Ohlmiller coming out on fire, scoring within the first 8 seconds. A little bit more of a back and forth game for Team O'Donnell, but both were very exciting, fast-paced games.
We need to introduce you to a few of the headliners in today's action. Kayla Wood, by surprise, rocketed her way up the leaderboard. She had a fantastic day for Team Ohlmiller.
Kayla Wood, a defender by trade, but she plays on that center draw circle. You see her gaining the very first possession of the game and was immediately able to get in the hands of an attacker. We see Hallie Majorana right there cutting for the cage. My favorite part of that, behind the back shot, all in transition. We see some defense right here. Kayla's specialty, able to create a caused turnover on the defensive end. And then physicality is the name of the game in this sport. More physical than what fans are used to seeing at the collegiate level. Nevertheless, she got up quickly and was ready for the next play.
Just amazing how much ground Kayla Wood can cover. On the other side of the equation for Team O'Donnell, no surprise that Taylor Cummings was able to find her way to the goal and do so successfully.
Taylor Cummings, an excellent player at the collegiate as well as the international level. We see Cummings right here challenging, tiptoeing around the crease. She can really will her team into the next phase, and right now what they needed was goal scoring from her. Don't let this phase you, however. She had multiple ground balls, caused turnovers, draw controls throughout the entire game. She is a 2-way midi because she truly does it all.
As the season runs along for the 5 weekends, you're going to have to get up to speed on how the athletes score their points individually on the leaderboard. This is how it'll break down. You score a goal, you get 12. You cause a turnover, you also get 12. And be very careful with the ball. If you give it up on a turnover, you lose 8. All these points will add up cumulatively onto a Geico leaderboard. And after 1 day's work, Courtney, it was Kayla Wood with better than 200 points.
You love that defensive players get some shout outs. Obviously, you saw the scoring. You can gain points from causing turnovers, and she did quite a bit of that. I love that there's a defensive player leading, and then an attacker, a goalkeeper, and rounding it out in the top 4, Taylor Cummings, a midfielder. Truly, everyone has the opportunity. It's what are you going to do on the field?
Throughout this season, we plan to bring you onto the field quite often to engage with the athletes, hear them in the atmosphere of Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. On the side of Team O'Donnell, netminder Kaylee Waters, who's wearing a microphone for us. And Kaylee, what can you do for an encore after yesterday's solid showing?
Hey Joe, good to finally hear from you. It's nice to be back out on this field playing lacrosse with these same people who we grinded last night, and we're going to get after it today.
Kaylee, after that close game last night, how do you guys refocus and reset coming out to play a powerhouse team like Team O'Donnell?
That's a good question.
Britt Reed, can you hear me? Britt,
Yeah.
you and Katie Glenn put on a show yesterday. I'm hoping that you plan to do the same today. For you, when you look back on that game, if you watched any of the film, what did you see?
Yeah, I did watch all the film. You know, our defense played great. It was a big team win. We couldn't do it without our defense. They limited the shots, got the other team, you know, frantic and taking the shots we wanted to see.
Hey, I'll do my best not to bother you, but thanks for lending us the insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Officials today, Lynn Bowers, Ronnie Anton, Jan McGrath, and Patty Kletcher-Porter. As we are running quickly, an early chance, and Reed with a denial. The bounce shot, follow-up score! Sammy Jo Tracy in the game's first 10 seconds.
Joe, not surprising. Sammy Jo Tracy there to pick up the trash in front of the goal cage. That's a defense's worst nightmare when an attacker is tracking that ball all the way into the middle. We see on this replay right here, Taylor Cummings, ever the competitor, quickly getting it into her offensive teammates' hands. Sammy Jo right there at the goalie's doorstep, ready to pick up that ground ball and finish the play. What I love, again, Sammy always wanted to add a flair, nice little behind the back. I think they were trying to compete with that very first goal of yesterday's game in under 8 seconds.
Pretty amazing how quickly these teams get on the board. Britt Reed, for every stop she makes today, she gets 6 points on her leaderboard count. That early denial, the follow-up though by Tracy found pay dirt. Sammy Jo, who always wants to be one play ahead, gets her second goal. You see her running total at the bottom, 113 total points. It's not all about the individual play, Courtney. Each team, should they win quarter by quarter, every quarter means 20 points for every player on the team.
Last night we saw Team O'Donnell win the first 3 quarters, lose the last quarter. Obviously they were still able to come away with the win, but those points each and every quarter do add up.
As you hear all the defensive communication field level for 6-on-6. Beautiful shot, an elevator upstairs. A dazzling delivery to tie the game at 1. Kylie Ohlmiller showing off.
Joe, these teams are wasting no time competing back and forth. Immediate possessions. Yesterday we saw a little bit more gaining possession, gaining comfortableness. However, she saw as soon as she has that ball in her stick, if you have a lane to goal, you have the green light. What I love about Kylie Ohlmiller is she is always willing to change levels on her stick in order to gain that advantage. A natural lefty. However, it's her ability to have that nice little snap of the wrist, driving it from low to high, evening out the score.
So far in this game, just 35 seconds old. You win the draw, you're going to get on the board. They respond quickly at the draw circle. It's Taylor Cummings popping that one to herself. Cummings going right to the cage. Fires, and Reed made the denial there. Britt Reed with her second stop starts the clear for Kayla Wood, who played collegiately at North Carolina, 3 times an ACC champion with the Tar Heels. Wood, who began the day as our Geico leaderboard frontrunner. So we play 6-on-6. It's 10 players total, 3 attackers, 3 midfielders, 3D, and a goalie in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There's an 8-meter key. If you score from beyond that, you'll get 2 points. We're halfway through a 60-second shot clock. Allie Kennedy off the head fake, fires and scores. Allie Kennedy.
We talked about this a little bit in last night's game. Defense giving a little bit too much space from that offensive player. We see Taylor Cummings defensively got her feet tangled a little bit, and that gave all the space for Allie Kennedy. We see her little shake and bake right here. Few stutters. She's acting like she's gonna split to her left-hand side. However, she takes it strong. Defensive slides are a little bit late. That gives some more space to her shooting side.
That's Courtney Martinez-Connor. I'm Joe Beninati. Courtney, when I spoke with Dana Boyle, our Athletes Unlimited draft analyst, I asked her to describe Allie Kennedy. She said she's a little pistol, and she meant that in a perfectly good way, and you can see that in her play.
An absolute freight train on the field. It's tough to stop someone when they're coming full speed at you and able to make moves and stop and turn on a dime.
Beautiful day, temps in the upper 80s here. Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. We're about 30 miles from the nation's capital. A pass to the interior for Team O'Donnell that gets away, and that's going to be a turnover. Kylie Ohlmiller's squad in the gold with a 2-1 advantage off this turnover here. Sammy Jo Tracy had the chance. She was blocked her path to the cage. In the crossfire there was Kayla Wood. Wood comes up with a scoop. For every ground ball, you'll add 2 points, and now she runs for cover. Ridden well by Fortunato and Tracy.
We saw a lot of covers, what looked like empties. Those are not fouls in this league. So players are going to be battling for ground balls until it's in their stick. A little bit different than what you see at the youth, high school, or collegiate level.
Dempsey Arsenal feeds inside. Trainer, bullseye. The goals come quickly for Team Ohlmiller.
Exactly similar to what we saw in Ohlmiller's first game yesterday. Team Ohlmiller in gold. They like to move the ball up the field quickly. First it was in Kathy Redkin's stick. She quickly gets it into a midfielder, straight to an attacker. That's called tic-tac-toe. Finding the open player, gaining space, man-up situations where you're dodging and creating throughout the middle of the field. And if you put it in Kayla's stick, she's just about scoring every time.
And you can see in super slow-mo, Trainer with the immediate fist pump and point to Dempsey Arsenal. Arsenal will get 4 points for the assist. Trainer has had a red-hot start. 5 goals for her, and when you score in Athletes Unlimited, you get 12 points on your individual total. The scoring hot and heavy in the first 2.5 minutes of today's game. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Draw control time. Trainer digging in against Cummings. Off the circle, they're racing for the ground ball. Kennedy overruns it, keeps it hot and keeps it alive, and then scoops for Dempsey Arsenal. Kylie Ohlmiller's squad is 3 for 3 shooting against Kaylee Waters. Waters is perhaps the finest goalie in this league.
Joe, we look at Kayla Trainer right there, who just had the ball, faking behind the back shots. Defensive players are ready for that because she is willing and able to shoot the ball from anywhere, between the legs, behind the back.
Taryn Vanthoff robbed by Waters. Waters' outlet pass on a hop to Michelle Tumalo. Tumalo, newly named head coach at Army. Her players just coming back from their beast training. Boy, were they ever happy to see Michelle to talk about lacrosse. The rigorous schedule for the athletes at Army. At the opposite end, Waters was standing tall. Reed with a denial there. Britt Reed has 3 saves in the early going.
We look at our screen right as Van Toff is about to take this shot. We see defense staying to the side, not wanting to get in shooting space.
And Arsenal cans the follow-up.
Stepping up, ever ready. We see this physical play on the field, a little bit different than what we're generally seeing at the collegiate level. But these athletes are oh so tough.
Hallie Majorana, a little bumped and bruised there. It's been a rocky start for Team O'Donnell and netminder Kaylee Waters. After a Sammy Jo Tracy tally in the first 10 seconds, the gals in gold have struck 4 straight. A chance for us to take a timeout just about halfway through the opening quarter. Back with more in a moment. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Nice to have you along for the ride again today. Day 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, the only league that's driven entirely by the athletes. We are working our way through the opening quarter here at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. It's a 4-1 advantage if you're just tuning in. Team Oldmiller in the gold jerseys with 4 unanswered strikes. Looking at our Geico leaderboard, these numbers accumulate over the season. And so far, Kayla Wood of Team Oldmiller remains on top, but Kayla Trainer is working quickly. There is and can only be one champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Folks, we shout out thanks to our presenting field partner, Geico. The turf looking spectacular as we get back to the draw control. Players who earn draw control add 2 points to their individual total. Haley Warden, who set records at James Madison in this discipline, working against Taylor Cummings, and it is another ground ball draw control for Kayla Wood. Wood, who can be so impactful. If memory serves, she wasn't necessarily in the starting rotation defensively for North Carolina, but she flashed on screen just about each and every game. Oldmiller's team, very accurate. They've hit the cage 6 out of 6, make it 7 there, but Waters made the quick stick stop. That's her 3rd on the contest. 18 individual points for Waters. Remember, though, for every goal that she gives up, you deduct a point. You need to be a mathematical genius to figure all this out, don't you? But it will make sense as you get adjusted.
It makes my head spin, but whenever we see the stats come up, it lets you realize everyone has an important role on the field. No matter if you think a ground ball might be too small or a draw control cause turnover is worth just as much as scoring a goal.
It's fun, it's different, it's creative. The athletes love it. O'Donnell wheels on Arsenal, plays it back behind the cage for Tumalo. Tumalo's defended by Kathy Rudkin. Rudkin, who played collegiately, finished up her career nearby College Park, Maryland. Cummings pass, Hench fires, step out save by Reed. She challenged beautifully there to take away the angle. She's got 4 saves. Back comes Oldmiller's squad in transition. Kennedy running, tried to get past McPartland, who took the angle and forced her into the alley. Kayla Trainer to operate, newly named head coach at Syracuse. Feed it inside, quick stick score! Allie Kennedy on the job.
Joe, one man's junk is another man's treasure. We see this amazing save at the other end of the field for Team Oldmiller. Brittany Reed already surpassing the number of saves that she had yesterday. But Kayla Trainer lost the ball, battled to get it back. Oldmiller with a nice little flip pass. That's knowing teammates. Oldmiller and Kennedy, both teammates at Stony Brook. That's what's so great about drafting. Oldmiller knew, if I get a former teammate, we're going to know one another like the back of our hand and able to come up with plays like that that very few can do.
Allie Kennedy on the board with her 3rd. You speak of the draft. Every Monday, the top 4 active on the leaderboard will be named captains, and they will select new squads. Each quarter is worth 20 points for the entire side. You win the quarter, you get 20. Kayla Trainer has the ball outside the 8-meter key. Right now, Team Oldmiller very much in charge and looking like they're going to rack up 20 points, a 5-1 advantage with just over 2 minutes to go in the initial frame. Waiting for a cutter.
This defensive player is hung up right now. Ideally, you want to be able to have contact.
Oldmiller sneaks on Riley. Riley says she was in the goal circle, and that is no goal. No goal. A goal circle violation. The outlet pass is picked up by Tumalo on the run. Michelle, who helped change the game with her amazing moves at attack at Syracuse, National Attacker of the Year in 2012. Latter stages of the opening quarter, 35 seconds on the shot clock for Team O'Donnell in purple. Hench on the flip. Cummings angles in, rolls back, bounce shot that goes wide. Closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the playing field, gets possession, so it stays for Team O'Donnell. Katie thinking about the two, rolls inside, and she's beaten to the punch again by Britt Reed. Courtney, just a few moments ago, this goal was taken down on a draw circle violation.
We see right there, foot on the line. However, what created that opportunity for her to have that inside roll was not being on that attacking player behind the goal cage. You want to make sure to stay as close as possible. Number one, so you can create turnovers, but two, so they don't get a full head of steam and dodge right at you.
No harm done after that goal circle violation. Arsenault on the split dodge, looking for Trainer. Bang, bang, it's 6-1.
Joe, we talked about connections, and connections are key on the field. A lot of the players have talked about it's gelling off the field as well as on. That's what creates team chemistry. We see Kayla Trainer right there pointing to her teammate. Dempsey Arsenault was one of the players that she coached when she was an associate head at Boston College. Right there, Kayla hopping on the field, and oftentimes with the team when she was an assistant coach and an associate head. And that's how you come up with plays like that. Nice little alley-oop inside.
Kayla Trainer operating at peak efficiency. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Kayla was the one who was saying, hey, let's capture a wider audience with our great play. She has been phenomenal in the first 2 days of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Fans, we want you to get even closer to the game. Join the Unlimited Club for free, downloading the Athletes Unlimited app today. You'll receive all the latest news, updates in the palm of your hand, stream digital games, unlock special access, and more. And if you're looking to go beyond that, upgrade your membership for a whole year of behind-the-scenes access. All the Athletes Unlimited seasons, joining the players in the voting for game MVPs and the end of seasons award. Visit auprosports.com to check it all out. Let's go into the game with Britt Reed. Hey, Britt, I saw you getting some recognition from Kayla Trainer there. You guys are doing it well at both ends.
Yeah, we're both connecting. It's awesome. We're stopping them on defense. They're turning around on attack and putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's all you can ask for in the game of lacrosse.
Words of wisdom that you're providing your defensive stance in front of you.
Just play. We know their tendencies are trying to overload one side, get the 1v1, and we're dictating instead of letting them dictate us.
Big early lead for Team Ohlmiller and Britt Reed. They need to keep their focus as we get set for a resumption of play. Tail end of the opening quarter, a 6-1 lead for the team in gold. That's Team Ohlmiller, shooting at 66% in this opening quarter. Courtney, that's huge. Those numbers are normally around 40, 35, 40, you're happy. 66, you're overjoyed.
You're ecstatic. And we talk about their offense so much on Team Ohlmiller in gold, but the goalie play by Britt Reed doing outstanding. Again, very similar to yesterday. 5-1, they were leading at the first quarter. Already they've surpassed those expectations.
Went on to an 11-3 win over Team Angie Benson on Friday, did Team Ohlmiller. Second game of our doubleheader, you'll see Angie Benson's squad matching up against Meg Dowdy. That's available on the Athletes Unlimited's digital platforms. Happy to have you on Fox Sports today. O'Donnell looking for a late strike off the pump fake. O'Donnell outside the 2-point arc. Settles for Perella. Perella from the wing, denied there. It ricochets off of Britt Reed. Shot clock is turned off. Team O'Donnell has the last possession if they want. Hench on the flip, looking for Fortunato, who struck twice yesterday. One of them I thought was a phantom goal, Courtney. Reed's in some trouble. She's in some hot water out of her goal circle as time expires in the opening quarter. 8 minutes of play in the books. Britt Reed, who was sharp in that first frame. Kayla Trainer, as usual, on the score sheet early and often. Allie Kennedy making a name for herself. Reed standing tall in the goal. All that on display with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Oldmiller with the last 6 goals of the opening stanza, racing out to a 6-1 healthy advantage over Team O'Donnell. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, day 2 of the 2021 season. Fans, it's time to earn points for watching today's telecast. Take out your phone, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll earn points. If you don't have the Athletes Unlimited app, head over to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. Start earning points to unlock exclusive rewards. Stay in the know about all things Athletes Unlimited. Captain Oldmiller, her facilitator. Facilitators are advisors, they're helpers, they're the support staff for the captains. Amanda Johansson is the facilitator for the team in gold. Katie O'Donnell's facilitator, Shanta Lecker. Very instrumental during the week in practice. They'll be very helpful to the new captains on Monday when we draft new teams. All the point totals adding up. Every moment matters in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. 6-1 advantage. We're going to get you to the Geico leaderboard up to the minute. This is game 3 of 30 this season. Kayla Wood remains on top. Kayla Trainer, though, her teammate, gaining ground very, very quickly. With a 6-1 lead, Courtney, Team Oldmiller has to feel very good, especially when you consider how sharp Britt Reed has looked in the net.
Britt Reed has done an outstanding job, standing tall, reacting, super fast hands, exploding to the ball. But you have to give credit to the defense in front of her. They have made some shots from low angles happen because of their all-over defense. We see that right there. Kayla Wood, they're on the hands of the attacker, and that makes it very difficult when you're taking a shot.
Britt Reed, we're going to go into the game again with you. Get yourself a drink if you need it.
So,
Hey, Britt.
hey,
With 6 stops after 1 quarter, I wonder, do you like that heavy workload early on? Does that get you right into the game?
yeah, I love a lot of shots in a small period of time. It gets you going, you know? But the defense are playing great, and it's just fun to be out here.
Britt, yesterday you guys had a 5-1 lead. Today it's 6-1. The second, third, and fourth quarters were a lot closer. How did you talk with your team about not repeating those tight quarters?
You know, just take it a quarter at a time. All you can do is be in the moment. We got to keep finishing on attack, keep making saves on defense, and not let them, you know, come at us hard.
Thanks for the input, boss. We appreciate it. 6-1 for Team Oldmiller. Britt Reed, when it comes to international play, Courtney, she'll be playing for Team England. Her late father grew up in England, and she can't wait for that opportunity to represent.
So interesting that Britt has a lot of family in England still, cousins, people she often visits, and I think when you have that nice connection with the team, you're easily able to step in, even though that may not be where you live throughout the entire year.
She told us that her late dad, Don, would have been in disbelief seeing his baby girl playing Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Reed overruns a ground ball there as we get the second quarter started. Taylor Cummings and Team O'Donnell in the purple. They have plenty of catching up to do, but they have the offensive firepower to get it done. Fortunato on the flip. Tumalo feeds O'Donnell as they go through a weave. O'Donnell feeds. Cummings on the inside roll, just sent it over top of the crossbar.
I like the Team O'Donnell. They're giving each other different looks, not necessarily the same set each time. Oldmiller has done a great job of scouting the opponents, knowing their tendencies, and this will keep them on their toes for sure.
Hench was riffed off inside. Down goes Wakefield in a heap. As Wood gets the ground ball, Kayla Wood will pick up a couple of more points. Our Geico leaderboard front runner. Rudkin on the clear. And Kayla Trainer takes over. Trainer, who potted 4 goals against Team Benson, has 2 already today. The Oldmiller squad has not missed the cage with a shot this afternoon. Warden gets inside, right to the goal. She scores! Haley Warden.
A little bit of a miscue defensively. Whenever you see a 2-man game setting up offensively, it is all about the communication. You need to chatter, decide if you're switching, staying on. And right now we see the ball move to the top. One person's on ball. They probably weren't saying stay, switch, and that's where Haley Warden, number 22 in gold, was able to gain a few steps on that defender who was late to the ball simply from the miscommunication.
Offenses love it when there's a little bit of defensive confusion. Haley Warden, who played in previous pro leagues with the WPLL Pride, spunky spark plug, gets her team on the board with her first goal. That's 12 points for Haley. And she digs in on the draw with Cummings. Cummings is terrific at popping that and claiming it for herself. Draw control 27 in the purple. Team O'Donnell has gone cold after that early Sammy Jo Tracy score. They've misfired on their last 7 shots. Credit Britt Reed in the cage for Team Oldmiller with some fine play. McPartland, who hasn't been playing for the last couple of years. Former Terrapin, rockets and scores! A beautiful sidewinder there. Kelly McPartland with a pat on the back from Katie O'Donnell.
Kelly McPartland, one of the fastest players on the field when she was in college playing at Maryland. What I like about her style of play, she uses her speed, her quickness, but is able to get a quick release off of her dodge as well. Yesterday we saw her attempt 2 two-point shots. They didn't convert. However, this is along those same lines. She was ready and able to shoot, getting her hands away from her body, which you love. That's able to create that torque where she gets her whole body involved.
Courtney referencing those 2-point goals. If you score them from outside the 2-point arc, the 2-point arc is the 8-meter key. We'll give you 2 on the scoreboard, and you'll claim 16 points individually. Off the draw, Cummings battered down. That's possession for Team O'Donnell as Taylor is a little slow getting off the turf. And she's going to sub out. Roster sizes, 14 players per team, 56 overall in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This is the inaugural season. We're playing in the Metro DC area. Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex. McPartland, stick check there on the perimeter. Good work by Taryn Banthoff. A caused turnover, not quite. Ball still loose. Sammy Jo Tracy digging. She comes up, lost it, and then into the capable cross of Kayla Wood.
I don't know if I'm surprised right there or if I would have called it. Kayla Wood is a ground ball vacuum on this field.
Reed had trouble on that clearing pass, a sloppy effort, and the ball will go back to Team O'Donnell in purple. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Team Ohlmiller in goal had a 7-goal run. After an early strike from Sammy Jo Tracy, the 7-1 advantage has been clawed back to 7-2. Perella would like to carve some more into it. O'Donnell, flashy stick handler. Snapshot, score! Alyssa Perella turning the corner.
What I loved is how Team O'Donnell slowed things down. It's all about attacking from different parts of the field. Team captain, Katie O'Donnell, on that upper elbow. Her eyes are up, and Britt Reed almost was able to make a play on that ball, but ultimately Alyssa Perella turning that corner, creating some space. And this is what's exciting. Right now, Team O'Donnell is winning the second quarter, 2-1.
Alyssa Perella and her mates, if they carry right along and win the quarter, it earns them all 20 points. We return to Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex. This complex was built by Discovery Communications chairman John Hendricks and his wife Maureen in 2000. They were the co-founders of the soccer team, the Washington Freedom, that played here. The field was renamed after Maureen in June of 2013. It was home to the Washington Spirit soccer team for 2013 through 2020. Proud home of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Cummings, bounce shot, score! Taylor Cummings. Team O'Donnell, Courtney, went 9 minutes without a goal. Now they've put 3 together in rapid fashion.
Joe, lacrosse is a game of runs, and that's what we're seeing right now. Obviously, Ohlmiller, Team Ohlmiller in gold. They had 6 goals in that first quarter, but now it's Team O'Donnell in purple. Their time to shine. Taylor Cummings winning the draw, nice and clean. When no defense is sliding to you, that creates a lane. When they're not going to commit to the ball, absolutely head to the goal cage, and that's what she did right before that nice little 5-hole shot.
Taylor Cummings, one of 6 different former Maryland Terrapins. She was 4 times first-team All-American during her days with the Terps. 3 tallies for Team O'Donnell in the last 91 seconds, making this game much more competitive. 7-4 overall, 3-1 in this quarter for the team in purple. Tumalo looks inside for Cummings, that bounces off of her cross. She's chased to the end line by Rutkin. Tumalo will try it again, working in against Kira Pelton, who played collegiately at Stanford. Hench forced outside the 8-meter key. Cummings with plenty of time on the 60-second shot clock. McPartland has Wakefield in the crosshairs. Tumalo off the sweep. Tumalo fires. That one buzzed wide of the cage.
It's a great pick by Taylor Cummings, giving a little bit more time and room for her teammate Michelle Tumalo to take that lefty shot on the run.
Shot clock at 13 for number 13, Sammy Jo Tracy. Roll dodge, fire, score! Sammy Jo Tracy. 4 unanswered goals for Team O'Donnell.
Patience, patience, patience is what we're seeing for Team O'Donnell right now. They're letting the clock work to their advantage. They have momentum, and ultimately, we see Sammy Jo Tracy. Look at this physicality right here. Kathy Rudkin in gold, using her body, her arms, trying to keep Sammy Jo away from the cage. However, sometimes you use that pressure to your advantage, roll off of it, and that's exactly what Sammy Jo Tracy did right here for Team O'Donnell. Great job turning quickly, firing as she rolls out.
This team in the gold jerseys, Sammy Jo Tracy and friends, with plenty of momentum right now. Sammy Jo, a couple of goals, that'll earn her 24 points on her leaderboard totals. 7-5 for Team Ohlmiller, at one point a 7-1 leader in this game. Things can change quickly in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse as we close up on Amber McKenzie, the veteran defender, giving her team some counsel. We can let you know, fans, that you can own a piece of Athletes Unlimited history with a first ever Topps trading card set for professional women's lacrosse. The limited edition sets will feature all athletes, plus additional cards about the league and randomly inserted serial numbered parallels, including player autographs and Nike Golden tickets. Sets are available to purchase now through August 27th at Topps.com. It's the only opportunity to purchase this unique collectible, so get yours today. We'll see Mira Shane a little later. Britt Reed adjusting the pipes. Her team's healthy advantage has been trimmed to 2. The Geico leaderboard with Kayla Wood still on top.
I love watching Kayla Wood, her tenacity all over the field, showing that your defensive plays can translate into making offensive opportunities for your team.
Oh, by the way, Taylor Cummings is climbing rapidly at 200 points. Cummings goes back to the draw. Team O'Donnell has won the last 6 draws, and that is definitely helping number 27. We hear the officials getting them coordinated. Warden and Cummings. The whistle giving possession to Taylor as she split dodges away from Dempsey Arsenault. Another 6-on-6 possession with Team O'Donnell having scored the last 4. Michelle Tumolo wants to keep up the hot hand. Exceptional creativity. Daughter of Ernie and Carol. O'Donnell finds Tracy. Sammy Jo off the stutter step. Shot clock at 25. Tumolo not in any hurry. Another flip. Fortunato to the elbow, sends one wide. Reed flashing that goalie cross at it. It'll stay possession for Team O'Donnell. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Tumolo's pass to the interior. That bounces wide as the shot clock expires. 2:25 remaining in the opening half. Stay with us. We'll be sharing some thoughts from Kylie Ohlmiller, her team on top by 2. We'll hear from Kylie during the intermissions activities. Share some highlights and stats with you as well. Ohlmiller, a 6-1 leader after the opening quarter. Just a few moments ago has its only shot in this quarter. It hit pay dirt against Kaylee Waters in cage for Team O'Donnell. Arsenault's drive, that's an easy rejection there for the All-American Waters. Give her 4 stops in the final 100 seconds of the opening half. On the run, Kristen Carr blazing a path ahead, 6-on-6 at this end of the field. 10 players on the field at a time, 14 on the roster overall. And the timeout taken. Terrific job by Team O'Donnell to get back in the mix, Courtney. What's been the difference in the second quarter compared to the first?
Tightening up defensively for Team O'Donnell for sure. Stepping out, making sure they're winning the draw controls. When you have the ball, you're the team in control. You can take as much of that 60 seconds as you want. Everybody gaining a little bit of a touch on the ball, gaining some confidence, and I think that's the biggest difference maker, everyone being involved offensively.
7-5 for Team Ohlmiller. Folks, our players were asked to talk about self-belief, a time of reflection, and how it affected their career. Let's listen to Kristen Carr.
All right, we need that, all right?
Being a collegiate coach and being you know, I guess a leader for your team, and it's so important for me to, you know, help these young women cultivate confidence in themselves and belief in themselves. And I know that they look up and they want to make sure that they're doing the right thing, and they want to make sure that I believe in them, which is great, but it has to come from within first. And to be able to light the world, you need to light the world inside yourself. Like every day you wake up, every day you go to bed, you have to be able to look inside and know that you gave it your best and that you have conviction and something that's inside of you to help you get to wherever you want to go in this world. And for me in sports, every day I just want to be the best that I can be.
That was Believe You Will, presented by Guaranteed Rates. And for at least this weekend, Team O'Donnell with a highly experienced defense, Courtney, Kristen Carr, Amber McKenzie, Holly McGarvey, Riley, all of those players well-versed on the lacrosse field.
Cookie Carr, she does the most amazing pregame, halftime speeches for Team USA. I know her collegiate teams appreciate her so very much. Believing in yourself, that's a big message that she preaches through and through. She's really big into journaling. She credits her confidence to reminding herself that she can do it.
Where does all the time go? She was first on the national team, Kristen Carr, back in 2008. Last minute of play in this opening half. Team O'Donnell in purple, working inside, score! Fortunato!
We're seeing a lot of different names for Team O'Donnell getting on the board today. Courtney Fortunato wearing number 15, four-time All-American at Notre Dame. I love that they're attacking from different parts of the cage. Sometimes out of a timeout, you can catch the defense not quite communicating as well. And right now, Team O'Donnell is stretching their run to yet another goal. One-handed dodge move right there. That face dodge, protecting her stick with her body. So very difficult. And then we see that extra little fake before she took that shot. So very important to throw that goalkeeper off. Right here, one more look, putting it into one hand. That takes such strength. That's not something you just do without practice.
5 unanswered points for Courtney Fortunato and her friends. They are going to win the second quarter. That means everybody in purple will gain 20 points on their counter on the overall leaderboard. And this is now just a 1-point game. Kylie O'Miller's troops jumped out to the 7-1 advantage. They've been reeled in steadily by Team O'Donnell. 40 seconds left in the second quarter. The shot clock is turned off. Katie O'Donnell and her mates can have the last shot if they choose. O'Donnell giving the marching orders to Cummings. Kayla Wood there defensively. Switched off, ball's deflected down. Good defense. Kylie O'Miller's squad tightening up defensively at just the right moment. Final 8 seconds in the half. A long clear is over the head of Kira Pelton. Tumalo hurriedly to the sideline, flings one towards the goal as the horn sounds, ending the opening 16 minutes of play. Courtney, wow, tale of two cities, tale of two quarters. All O'Miller in the first and just counter opposite in the second.
I love the sport of lacrosse for this reason alone. A game of runs, you want to try and limit it when you're that defensive team, but when you're feeling that you have hot hands offensively and you're winning the draw control, you can run and extend your lead, and that's exactly what we saw between the first and second quarter.
In a league full of big names and superstar talents, you might not recognize the name Courtney Fortunato, but we have her circled up here. She's running circles around the defense. It's halftime. you highlights through the first 16 minutes of play. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse underway at Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex with Team Oldmiller on top, a 7-6 leader after 2 quarters. All these athletes were looking forward to the start of this inaugural season. They were so much for them to like in advance of the campaign. Kylie Oldmiller let us know what she's looking forward to in Athletes Unlimited.
I'm really excited for Athletes Unlimited. I think what has been so incredible so far is just a lot of the resources that we haven't seen yet on the women's side of the game. I'm excited to see the potential that we have to be able to get ourselves in front of networks and in front of audiences that might have never seen the sport before, might have never seen the highest level of the sport before, which I know that we're going to give you as athletes. So I'm excited for that, and I think it's just going to take the game, especially on the women's side of the game, to a complete other level for young players to look out there and aspire to reach to.
Any conversation you have with number 71, you're immediately drawn into it. She has so much energy and love and passion for the game. Courtney Martinez-Connor, what is it about the way she plays that is so attractive to lacrosse fans?
You know, it's not just her flashy play, but like you said, her passion. You can see that she's feeling every emotion on the field. And it's her ability to put together a great team on paper, which is not easily done, which she did in the draft. And they've been rolling. Game 1, Game 2. Maybe the second quarter wasn't quite their best, but again, lacrosse is a game of runs, and I have no doubt that they'll come firing back at the start of the second half.
It's a goal of ours this summer to get you on the field a lot, to hear a lot of the on-field audio. Let's go into the game with Kylie Oldmiller.
All right, Golds. Let's get it. I know we got our little circle gonna go. We gotta get the lineups going and everything like that. But awesome day 2. All right, we had an awesome day 1. Let's build off of it. Let's go. Let's go, 42. Good job. Let's go. Oh, you're in the middle of the circle.
Trainer there. You guys are doing it well at both ends.
Yeah, we're both connecting. It's awesome. We're stopping them on defense, we're turning around on attack and putting the ball in the back of the net. And that's all you can ask for in the game of lacrosse.
Let's go for last
Words
shot.
of wisdom that you're providing your defensive stance in front of you.
Kylie Oldmiller and her squad, they won every quarter yesterday. They swept through Angie Benson. Today, they were beaten in that second quarter, and we have ourselves a very entertaining lacrosse game. Kylie Oldmiller, action-packed, heavily surrounded by offensive talents, but she says, when I need to, I'll get to the cage on my own. 7-6. It's a very entertaining Athletes Unlimited lacrosse game, but it's a game that's been on the teeter-totter, seesawing back and forth. It was all Team Oldmiller in the first, but Team O'Donnell rallying big time in the second. 7-6 for the ladies in gold. Joe Beninati along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Courtney, there are plenty of goals on the board, but these two teams offensively, they do it in different ways.
Looks a little bit different. Team Ohlmiller shares the ball a little bit more, is looking to get the defense moving from side to side. It makes it harder for the goalkeeper to make a save when your goals are scored off of assist. However, Team O'Donnell clearing more space, allowing for a lot of open space dodges from all over the field, and that's why they don't have any assist for Team O'Donnell.
If you missed out on that first half action, it's time for us to get you caught up. And things started swiftly thanks to Sammy Jo Tracy.
Sammy Jo Tracy had an opportunity to talk with her. She said she needed to get into a rhythm this game. She didn't feel like she had it in their first game the other day. However, getting her team on the board first did not mean that they were going to continue on, because it was all Team Ohlmiller for the next 6 goals of the first quarter.
That was fancy footwork from Allie Kennedy. Then Arsenault would look inside for Trainer.
Connections. It's all in who you know, who you've played with, and how well you play together. We see coaches to former players, teammate to teammate from college days, and these girls are showing why it's really important to connect on the field from those connections off.
Seawolf to Seawolf there on the goose pass.
Right here, we see another tight feed inside. Again, it's all about those little handles. This little miscommunication from Team O'Donnell was the last time that they were going to allow that to happen. Their defense tightened up in the second quarter, and then they started to really roll offensively.
Perella snapping one there that catches Britt Reed diving in vain. Off the draw control, Cummings is so dangerous.
Taylor Cummings doing what she does best, and that's snatching the ball off the draw and running from coast to coast. On a shorter field, it's even easier for her with those long strides.
Sammy Jo Tracy with the neat moves. Fortunato would not be outdone. Team O'Donnell finding its rhythm. 7-6 for Kylie Ohlmiller after 2 quarters of play. As we check out the numbers through 2, anything stand out to you?
I mean, obviously you have to shoot in order to score. That's something that's gained Team O'Donnell back in this second quarter, but draws won. Look at that. They need to translate even more of those draws that they're winning into goals on the offensive end of the field.
Team O'Donnell, as you can tell, that late run making things interesting. Things are always interesting on the cumulative Geico League leaderboard.
From defense to attack, mid to goalkeepers, there's opportunities in how to gain points as an individual, making a save, causing a turnover. Kayla Wood has done a great job from the defensive end, starting out the offense. Kayla Trainer, obviously, with her finishing abilities. Taylor, two-way midi. She's able to produce at both ends of the field.
Courtney, very interesting to see 2 goalies there in the top 5 on that Geico leaderboard. As you look ahead to the third quarter now, what should we anticipate?
You know, again, I talk about the game of runs. It's about coming out, getting that first draw control, translating offensively. I would expect for them to push a fast break, but if it's not there, settle things down. Relax. There's a lot of time left in the game.
First of 2 great games today here about 30 miles away from our nation's capital. Quarter 3 rolling at you and the lacrosse fans in a moment. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Guaranteed Rate. Done with 2 quarters in the opening game today. Team Ohlmiller jumped out to a lengthy first quarter lead. Team O'Donnell's making things very, very interesting on another sun-kissed day at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Just a few moments ago, we heard Kylie Ohlmiller addressing her team. Let's take you into the game.
Hey you guys, so only thing that was consistent on that stat sheet, which I think we already know, is that we had 8 shots in the first quarter, and that one we had 2. And then it went exactly like with our draw controls, right? That draw control one, we went 4 and 4 in the first quarter with Taylor, and that one was like 6-1. Right? And she's got them all. So big thing that we're gonna change that you guys were talking about is if it goes up to just empty her in the air. And then our circle girls, you guys are already ready on the ground, but we haven't been getting it on the ground. So stay ready on the ground. If she gets it in the air, let's let our draw player mark up on Taylor and just stay with her instead of sliding up to her and allowing like a fast pop right over.
Spoken like a true captain, talking about strategy. We normally don't have sticks being emptied or covered in the sport of lacrosse. At the collegiate level, however, it is allowed in this league, and that is a tremendous strategy on how to get the ball away from Taylor Cummings.
Taylor Cummings with a draw control to start the third quarter. Marching to the cage. She scores! Beating Katie Glenn, who is now subbed in for Britt Reed in goal for Team O'Miller. We are brand new at 7 apiece.
Joe, the effort was there. We saw sticks trying to check empty, just get it away from Taylor Cummings out of the air. However, they were unsuccessful. And as soon as it's in her stick, she's off to the races. If you do not pick up Taylor Cummings, wearing number 27 in purple, she is going to head straight to goal right here. And a little bit of a late pickup defensively by Team O'Miller created that lane to goal.
See Allie Kennedy just catch her out of the corner of her eye. Wakefield was a little late there too. Cummings says thank you very much. Scoring on Glenn in the first 8 seconds of the quarter. Katie Glenn, who managed 3 saves in the game against Team Benson yesterday. Team Benson will face Meg Dowdy's squad in the nightcap of today's doubleheader action. As far as Team O'Miller in goal is concerned, Wood is off and running. Wood right to the cage, bounce shot, score! That one had plenty of English on it. Did you see the spin that fooled Kaylee Waters?
Love the bouncers, especially when they go high. Defense don't often get a chance to go to goal, but if you're not going to respect the defender, they're gonna run straight at the goal. It started off with that draw control possession by Wood, and we see that nice little, wasn't a wind-up, but it was just a nice little quick push-pull, creating that quick little bounce effect. Putting Team O'Miller back on the board.
The bounce fooling Waters. Kayla Wood had only 1 point in her collegiate career, Courtney. It was an assist against Virginia in 2021. There's her first professional goal. She's our Geico leaderboard leader. She just picked up 12 points. You get 12 for every goal you score this summer. 30 games total in the season. We'll keep adding it up. There's only one champion among the 56 athletes who've arrived here in town. The officials, Patty Kletcher-Porter, Jan McGrath, Lynn Bowers, and Ronnie Anton, giving the ball to Kylie O'Miller's squad. Trainer racing ahead, looking for a numbers advantage. The feed's just too tall there, looking for Hallie Majorana. That turnover on Trainer, Courtney, costs her a -8 points.
It was a great look. Syracuse to Syracuse connection. Those two have played together frequently. However, pass just a little off mark. I like that they're pushing the transition. Once you get a goal, let's get the ball back and immediately try for another quick one.
Just now, 1 minute done in the third quarter. You see the turnover story at the top of the screen. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited launched in 2020 with women's softball. That was held in Chicago. Volleyball contested in Dallas in March of 2021. Sammy Jo Tracy put that one on the turf. Glenn looking to scoop. Fortunato rolled it into the goal circle, and Glenn puts the clamps on it. We're playing today in front of friends and family and special guests. Tickets will be on sale and are presently on sale. Fans in attendance tomorrow. Another doubleheader. Team O'Miller will face Team Dowdy. Another noon start for Kylie as she has the ball, working in against Sarah Brown. Majorana inside roll, lost the handle. She's stuffed there by Waters.
There's a great little check of the stick by Amber McKenzie, number 1 in purple. Haley Majorana had gotten a step on her with that inside roll, and it was a desperation check. Happened to work, ultimately giving Team O'Donnell possession again offensively. Sometimes those last-ditch efforts work out in your favor.
Fortunato picked up a couple of tallies yesterday. She has one today. Playing catch with O'Donnell. Working in against Kira Pelton. Tumalo comes to set the pick. Shot clock's at 20. It's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There's an 8-meter key. If you score from beyond it, you'll get 2 points, or rather, you'll score and get 2 points for your team and 16 for yourself. Glynn with another sharp save. As Sammy Jo Tracy chases after her on the ride. Wakefield clears. We got to know her yesterday as she was wearing the mic. She took us far into the game with her descriptive vocabulary.
Joe, the players talked about defense wins championships. I think it's their communication that just is contagious all over the field.
Majorana wheels back, looks for Arsenault, switch it up. Warden, defended by Perella. Warden around a screen, shot clock at 15. Kayla Trainer a long way from the cooker. Trainer on the feed, that's too hot to handle. It goes back to Team O'Donnell in purple. Trailing by 1 point. Brown clears on target for Kristen Carr, who offers to Tumalo, who took her eyes off it for a second.
At this point, back and forth play, ideally that's when you want to call a timeout, relax things a little bit, get back into your groove.
Trainer will slow the tempo. We drift below 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor with you. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Guaranteed Rate. A real good one between Team Oldmiller in gold and Team O'Donnell in purple. Kylie Oldmiller against her opposite captain, O'Donnell. Majorana, defended by Holly Riley. Riley, who will coach Team Argentina in international play. Off the crossbar! A buzz bomb for Majorana that rings the iron. Waters pops out of her goal circle, comes up with possession as the shot clock has expired. 3 minutes to go in quarter three.
Tremendous look at the cage by Haley Majorana, showing her ability to gain speed and torque. Look at that as she winds up, getting her arms up and away. A lot of power, a lot of accuracy, feet outside, a nice 2-point attempt.
That cage won't stay empty for often. There'll be a lot of commotion around it soon. It's a high-scoring game, 8-7 in favor of Team Oldmiller. Folks, the Hypervolt percussion massage device and Normatec compression systems, just some of the HyperIce products our players have been using in the Athlete Innovation Lab. It's a proud partner of Athletes Unlimited. HyperIce has been helping the athletes move better, live better, and be better on the field. We carry right along in the third quarter. Thank you to our presenting field partner, Geico. Clearing time for Team O'Donnell in purple. Carr will bring it ahead. Riley at midfield. She was brushed there by Kayla Trainer, and that's a yellow card. It's going to be player up for Team O'Donnell for 1 minute.
Yellow card.
A huge advantage for Team O'Donnell right now in the 6v5 setup. A lot of open space. Players have loved being in a 6-on-6. One less player inside creates a lot more opportunities. However, playing a player up, make the defense have to move, expect the ball to move quickly. Once players all get to their spaces, waiting to find that open player, no need to take a one-on-one situation. Then that check that you just saw right there by Trainer is what has created this player-up opportunity for Team O'Donnell.
6-on-5 for the team in purple. Tumalo looking for Cummings. Michelle Tumalo outside the 8-meter key. Should she score from there, it's worth 2 points. Sammy Jo Tracy turns, floats that one too tall for Cummings. Potentially an over and back here. They dig for it. Sarah Brown comes up, stick check to the ground. Riley, stick check there by Majorana, and it's Brown who emerges with the lacrosse ball. The 60-second shot clock expired, so the ball goes possession back to Kylie Ohlmiller's side in gold.
Great defensive effort by Team Ohlmiller in gold. Moving, communicating, making sure they match up on those trouble players inside of that 8-meter key. Held off Team O'Donnell from scoring a point when they were player up.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse capitalizing on the momentum in this sport right now off a really exciting NCAA tournament for the women. Majorana did not reel that one in near the last minute of quarter 3. Right now, this third quarter is even in terms of scoring, so 20 points are on the line perhaps for the next team that converts. You win 20 points per quarter, 45 points for every player should you win the game. Another hearty collision there near the top of the key sends Cummings down to the deck. Courtney, one thing we've seen in 2 days worth of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, it does get physical.
Physical indeed. We see right here a dodge coming, that motion, the check towards the head, that's going to be called every single time. So while more physical play is allowed, a little bit more stick-to-body contact, body-to-body, anything about safety, player safety, is immediately going to result in a yellow card. And it's 1 minute within the league.
Caroline Wakefield sits out. Looking forward to Athletes Unlimited's opportunity for networking and building a brand. O'Donnell working on the outside. Another player up opportunity here. Sammy Jo Tracy around the horn. It lands with O'Donnell. 30 seconds in the quarter. Tumalo inside. Tracy, quick stick score! They're gonna wash it out. Another goal circle violation, no goal there. If this quarter remains tied 1-1, the 20 points available in the third would carry over. It would be double points. The fourth quarter would be worth 40.
Joe, I believe that Michelle Tumalo for Team O'Donnell was talking to her team captain as well as the facilitator in wanting to review that last goal.
The facilitator for Team O'Donnell is Shanta Lecker. Facilitators are their helpers, their advisors, their support staff on the sideline. There are 5 items that can be challenged and reviewed. Goals, 2-point goals, whether a ball was out of the cross when time expires, dangerous shots, or false starts. Right now they're reviewing this potential goal circle violation.
That first look, it looks good. We see that feed come inside. Michelle Tumalo, very heads-up play. It's a matter of did that foot touch down on the line. As we get a closer look, we see the defensive player in her black cleats. She is inside the goal circle. Sammy Jo Tracy for Team O'Donnell is up in the air.
The table official is Ronnie Anton. She'll have final say. The officials can huddle up and be in conversation about the review. Tumalo with a great look inside. Acrobatic work again from Sammy Jo Tracy to stash that. If it stands, it's the hat trick for Tracy. In what has been now a lengthy review.
Okay, so after reviewing the challenge, we have the athlete stepping into the crease. It is a no goal. The call stands.
8-7 it remains for Team Oldmiller, and 1-1 in the quarter. After that review, Courtney, I see you flinching and wincing up here. What say you?
Listen, I'm normally on the side of the defense. Obviously, the referees are down on the field. They're looking at the same film that we just saw. I think it was difficult to tell from the angles that we saw. Definitely the defensive player, her foot is in the crease. That is allowed. Sammy Jo Tracy, it was hard to tell. It was hard to tell. Did that toe touch the line? And that's probably the very first call that the referee made. She saw it. We just didn't necessarily have that camera angle on replay. But from what I saw, I don't know if I would disallow that.
Katie Glynn gets back to work. She played collegiately at Loyola, was the Patriot League Goalie of the Year during her time with the Greyhounds. So remember, 20 points are on the line for the third quarter win. Right at the moment, Cummings has scored for O'Donnell, Ward for Oldmiller, which makes this a 1-1 quarter with 20 points on the line for each player on the roster. Every moment counts in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Where will this restart begin?
Yep, we're ready to go, yellow.
Kayla Wood. Wood, who has the third quarter tally, sprints ahead. Her first goal as a pro, ball down on the deck, barreling into a collision there with Holly Riley.
Joe, these athletes, they're strong, they're physical, but I'll tell you what, I love how every single time they get right back up and they're ready for the next play. Team O'Donnell is still up a player. We see that hit right there by mom of two, Holly Riley McGarvey.
Steamrolled there by Kayla Wood. Time ticking, 4 seconds to go. McPartland thought about the two. O'Donnell inside, the flick comes from Hench. She sent it wide, and we are done with 24 minutes. 3 quarters of action. The two teams played to a 1-1 draw in the third quarter. That means the fourth will be worth 40 for each side.
Because both teams scored 1 goal this quarter.
Tearing it up, throwing it down, taking over this town. Tonight we're making up new rules. Yeah, you know how we do. Can't get enough, can't get enough. Tearing it up, tearing it up, tearing it up.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Just about 30 miles away from Washington, D.C. are we with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse today. Sun beating down on these tremendous athletes. It's been a great game, 8-7 for Team Oldmiller after 3 quarters. They put 8 on the board on Kaylee Waters. Kaylee is wearing a mic for us today, the Team O'Donnell goalie. Kaylee, from a defensive assignment standpoint, what has to happen in the fourth now?
Hey, we just got to continue what we're doing, you know. We knew what to shake out in the first quarter, and we're just going to stay locked down, a lot of communication, and pick up the scrappy ground balls. There are a lot of them.
Kaylee, offensively, you guys gain possession off the draw control. What can we expect to see on the offensive end? Whose stick do we want that ball in?
Taylor Cummings, Michelle Tumo, Sammy Jo, anyone on the team. They all can finish. Kudos, Taylor Cummings, who's winning all the draws. Huge team effort. Let's go, Purple!
Thanks for the scouting report. Get back in that circle where you belong.
Let's go, Tay-Tay! Here you go.
Always offering encouragement. I'm told she's done some broadcasting, so obviously she has a future in the business. By quarter, you see the huge outburst from Oldmiller in the first. O'Donnell responded likewise in the second, and then much tighter to the vest in quarter 3. It's 8-7 for the team in gold. Coming up once this game is through, Meg Dowdy squares off with Angie Benson. Team Dowdy and Team Benson, both of them on the losing end of games yesterday. These two squads victorious a day ago. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, day 2. 30 games before all is said and done. Just one champion among the 56 players on the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse roster. They're divided into 4 teams. Every Monday, the top 4 point scorers on the leaderboard will be new captains, and they'll draft new teams. Cummings on the go, feed on a give and go with Hench. Not able to connect there with her former Terrapin teammate. Oldmiller's got the ball offensively. It'll be 6-on-6 at the attacking end. Kylie Oldmiller's squad had a lot of shot volume in the opening quarter. They have not taken very many shots on Kaylee Waters ever since.
I like the fact that they share the ball offensively. However, they've had quite a few turnovers as they're looking to feed inside, because Team O'Donnell and Purple have been all over those feeds. They've been on the hands of the passer, making things difficult.
Majorana fires and scores! Hallie Majorana back on the board.
Catching the defense sleeping a little bit of too much space. Team O'Donnell was giving Haley Majorana, if you give an attacker space, they're confident with the ball in their stick, which obviously yesterday, Haley was 2 goals, 2 assists. She's going to make you pay right here. We see Amber backing up, opening those hips. Whenever an attacker sees a defensive player open up as opposed to step and close the space, then you know that you have a little bit more space to take that shot. As we look at this again, we see right there when you saw the flash of light, that was that opening. That ever so slight turn of the hips by the defensive player, Haley Majorana, seeing that and finishing with a nice shot on goal.
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports today, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Majorana had 2 yesterday. We go to the draw circle. Cummings in there against Warden. Off the ground. The scoop is made by Warden. She had it in her cross for a brief instant. The ball flexed onto Allie Kennedy. A trail check comes from O'Donnell. And Sarah Brown goes the other way with a ground ball and 2 points on her ledger. When you score in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, it's worth 12 points individually. This 4th quarter, just to remind you, whoever wins the 4th quarter scoring summary, that team will pick up 40 points. If you win the game, you get another 45 as a team. 2 minutes into the final frame. Cummings on the flip. O'Donnell there looking for Sammy Jo Tracy. Tracy turns the corner. Matched up with Wakefield. Fortunato on the ISO against Pelton. Rolls back. Shot clock's at 10. Perella gets inside. Good check though, the recovery there from Kayla Wood. Shot clock is at 3. Shot clock violation against Team O'Donnell. It's 60 seconds on the clock to get a ball on cage in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse.
That's all about game management, time management. As soon as that ball went out of bounds, immediately attacking that goal cage quickly is what Team O'Donnell should have been communicating to one another.
Nearing the 5-minute mark to go in an exciting game in the 4th quarter. Courtney, the Summer Olympic Games being contested in Tokyo. 27 Athletes Unlimited softball and volleyball players, part of the Team USA efforts, and 4 other countries for that matter. Arsenal takes the feed and scores.
Joe, we saw a lot of that in reverse in the 1st quarter. Dempsey Arsenal feeding Kayla Trainer. However, Kayla managing the defensive pressure right here by Cookie Carr, finding an open teammate back on the doorstep. That's that connection. Player coach from Boston College.
Team Oldmiller with the only tallies in this fourth quarter, giving themselves a little bit of cushion, a 10-7 lead. Fans, you can join us at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex on game day. Join these folks and others. Tickets still available for select dates at auprosports.com/tickets/lacrosse. Kylie Oldmiller's squad has the 3-goal lead, and just a few moments ago, the captain was taking her team into the classroom, into the game.
All right, let's just play our game, get the ball off the draw, push in transition, and then what we're doing a little bit that we haven't done last night or in the first quarter when we were having success, is that we get the ball down and we're kind of like, and that's on us, on the attack, we're kind of just like hanging, and it's like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we starting? Like, where we go? Right? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go on the inside. I'm gonna go in the middle. I have KO on me. It's a switch. I'm gonna run the crap out of her. If you guys are up top, up the mid, run off me. Okay? I'm setting picks left, right, everywhere, just to show them a different look. Okay? That we haven't thrown yet, and also just to tire out KO. Okay? And then let's go get the ball behind, working from X a little bit. You guys see the slip pick off of me, like off the drive, off the top? Let's go for it. Do you want us to start with like?
And off the draw we go with Kayla Wood. Team Oldmiller in gold, valuable possession time now with 4.5 to go and a 3-point lead. Remember, there is a 2-point goal in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. This inaugural season, it's the only league that's driven by the athletes. The excitement of this opening weekend continues once we are through with this game. It's Team Dowdy against Team Benson, both of them looking for a first win of the young season. These two squads victorious yesterday. Off the roll dodge, Warden. Behind the back pass, almost clicked into the cage. Waters, with a sigh of relief, comes up with a lacrosse ball.
You love the creativity of Kylie Oldmiller. As she's going to the ground, it's how can I get this ball into my teammate's stick? Always thinking. Very heads-up player on the field.
Kelly McPartland joined the offensive action at this end, 6-on-6. Time's a-wasting now in the fourth. Fortunato off the split dodge, well defended by Pelton. Top side for O'Donnell. Outside that 8-meter key, you score from beyond that arc, you'll get 2. Sammy Jo Tracy playing hide and seek. Stopped there by Glynn. Big stop for Katie Glynn, that's her second. She gets 6 points for every save. Tumalo angles in. She's been a distributor, a passer in the first 2 games of her Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse career. Fortunato on the shovel shot, kicked out of there. Another reset. Cummings fires, denied by Glynn. A goaltending clinic in the last minute.
Katie Glynn done an outstanding job. The last few shots on cage, she's held her position. Saw that ball into her stick. It's all about tracking as a goalkeeper, and she certainly came up big for Team Oldmiller.
This fourth quarter is worth 40 points to everybody on each team. Whoever wins the fourth, right now in the lead, it is Team Oldmiller overall in the game and in the fourth. Valuable points on the line early going on the leaderboard. Snapshot sailed high from Allie Kennedy. Closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the field on a shot maintains possession, so keep it with Team Oldmiller and Taryn Van Thop. Less than 2 minutes to go. Team O'Donnell needs a turnover in a hurry here. Arsenal, split dodge. Oldmiller, one more. Majorana, dip and dunk.
The ball movement by Team Oldmiller in gold, tremendous in that last offensive effort. We saw the ball moving, feet moving, changing where they're at on the field. We heard Kylie talk about that with her teammates, that they needed to do better. Right there, right as she was about to take a shot from a distance, she said one more. Found Haley Majorana right on the doorstep, so very unselfish. Did she need that 12-point goal? Maybe, but this was the smarter play. Caught every single defender off guard. They were all staring at her, which created that lane for Hallie Majorana to cut right around that goal circle.
A helpless feeling for Kaylee Waters. Majorana is now 5th overall on the Geico leaderboard. Those cumulative totals that will continue to add up from weekend to weekend through the course of a 30-game Athletes Unlimited season. Down the stretch we go, 4-point advantage for the ladies in gold. That's Team Ohlmiller. And valuable possession time off the draw control, although that pass gets away. The turnover gives O'Donnell the lacrosse ball, and they need it. On the clear, it's Celissa Perella. She wants to be fast and disruptive this season. She works inside the key. Tumalo is outside that 8-meter key. Are they thinking 2-point shot here? Cummings matched up with Wood. That pass gets away from O'Donnell. Fortunato with just 65 seconds to go in the game. 30 on the shot clock.
Time is of the essence. You need to make sure you're moving quick and fast. Down by 3.
Fortunato stopped by Glenn. Glenn got the elbow and shoulder up. That's 5 saves for her in relief of Britt Reed. Once again, the tandem goaltending effort for Team Ohlmiller, outstanding. Tracy for 2, stabbed by Glenn. And Team Ohlmiller can hold the ball. Shot clock is turned off. 28 seconds in the game. Team Ohlmiller going to win 40 points each. The carryover for the third quarter to the fourth, and another 45 on top of that for winning the game. Kennedy gets inside. 10 seconds left. Off this steal, McPartland goes the other way. Tumalo being encouraged to shoot. McPartland lets it fly. That Sizzler's off the mark. As Team O'Donnell goes scoreless over the last 15 minutes plus, and Team Ohlmiller prevails by the final count of 11-7.
Joe battling for that draw control. We continue to see Kayla Wood for Team O'Donnell coming up with the ball. However, they weren't translating it into goals. Team Ohlmiller changed their offensive tactics, essentially coming up with that win by coaching from their team captain, Kylie Ohlmiller, doing a tremendous job communicating with her team.
Second consecutive victory for the team in gold. Team Ohlmiller once again jumping out to a lengthy lead, being scared by Team O'Donnell for sure in that second quarter when the tables were turned. But in the end, it's Team Ohlmiller outlasting Team O'Donnell for an 11-7 victory.
Again, it's all about the runs that you have within the game. I guarantee if there is a fifth quarter, Team O'Donnell would have come out firing, but you have to work within your time frame, and I think that Team Ohlmiller in gold just really worked the clock a bit better than Team O'Donnell in this game.
One more game left in this opening weekend of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse for these two teams. Team Ohlmiller will square off with Team Dowdy tomorrow at noon. Kylie Ohlmiller is joining us post-game. And Kylie, we have to ask you, what happened in the second quarter after such a brilliant first for your squad?
Yeah, you know, we came out hot. I think we used the momentum of last night. We really played well as a team together last night, and we came out hot in the first quarter, and we went on a little bit of a run there. And you know, credit to O'Donnell's team over there. They turned it on. They turned it on the draw, and I think that was the big difference. We saw a big difference on the stat sheet at halftime in the second quarter as opposed to the first quarter in draws and in touches on our offensive side, which kind of usually go hand in hand. So we just wanted to get the ball more off the draw and get the ball in our sticks a little bit more.
Fourth quarter, we saw a lot of points on the line. What was the message that you gave to the team?
Yeah, you know, we really don't think about too many points over here in this huddle. I think that is something that actually has never come up in conversation, which is kind of cool, and that's what I love about this league, right? The most points are the ones that you get for team wins and team quarter wins. So that's just what we're focused on the most, is really just getting those wins and gritting out those quarters. And I'm proud of this team for being able to take out a tough win today after a little bit of a different kind of win last night.
Kylie, nice job. Innocent question for you, though. Does that eye black ever get itchy?
Itchy, no, but my skincare routine is definitely a little bit different these days.
I wish you well with all your exfoliation.
Thank you.
That's very, very key.
Thanks so much.
Keep up the good work tomorrow. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks, you guys.
Kylie Ohlmiller's squad and 11-7 Victor tacking on the winning margin in the fourth. What was a 7-1 advantage became just a 1-point game as we get you to the Geico defensive play of the game. Katie Glynn was outstanding late in this contest.
You know, sometimes it can be difficult coming off of the bench, matching play. However, Katie Glynn right here, we see her hugging the pipe, holding her position each and every time. You know, it's not an easy thing to be a goalkeeper. You always want to see eye, thumb, ball, and she did it so very well. Put on a clinic for all those young fans.
Katie Glynn is color coordinated very well for Team Gold, and she's a stick stringing expert. Katie, you used that goalie stick again very well. What was the secret in the fourth?
I mean, it was all the defense. They were doing awesome. They were forcing those wide shots, and I was able to see them, and we just did a defensive hold right there. It was awesome.
Katie, the message that the defense was in front of you, talk about that communication that we could hear.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's hard going into these games where you haven't played with each other, but our defense, we connect, we send those slides, we were really putting the pressure on them, and they just played like a defensive unit.
Katie, you've come off the bench both times that we've seen you now in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. What's the difference between starting and being the quote-unquote stopper coming out of the bullpen?
I think it's just being always ready, which is always my motto, is just being always ready to go in.
What's your knack to coming out on that field in the second half?
I'm sorry?
What's your knack to coming out on the field second half?
Oh, I'm just ready to go and want to help my team win.
Katie, we appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Team Ohlmiller in front of friends and family and special guests today. 11-7 win over Team O'Donnell. Kylie Ohlmiller's squad 2-0. And with so many different offensive weapons, Dempsey Arsenault says, hey, don't forget about me.
Dempsey Arsenault, great job. Two-way midi, does hard work on both ends of the field. However, it was her connection with her former coach, Kayla Trainer, that I think spoke loudly on the field today.
Dempsey Arsenault, the record of 2-0 has to be pleasing, but what's giving you the most fun from Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse so far?
Oh my gosh, my team is amazing. This whole production is unbelievable, and it's like so surreal, but yeah, I love my team. I don't want it to switch.
The feeling that the team has now that you're 2-0.
Yeah, it's awesome. This showed that we can battle through adversity. Yesterday was a little bit of like an easier game, but it showed that we can stick together and still come out on top.
Dempsey, there are so many players who are coaches nowadays, who have been captains before, and we know that the rosters are going to change. Every Monday you're going to draft new teams, but how difficult or easy is it to get that camaraderie, to find that connection right away?
It's a little bit difficult. You know, you have a lot of voices coming in, but I think when everyone buys into the system and we all just appreciate that we're here and having fun playing lacrosse, it kind of shows on the field and that's exactly what my team did. That's why we're winning.
So you're winning on the field. What are those activities off the field? I saw a little bit of spike ball that some of your teammates were doing the other day. What else have you guys done to get that connection going?
Yeah, we've hung by the pool. We played spike ball. We're just having a ton of fun.
Remember your sunscreen. Well done. Well done. Dempsey Arsenault and Team Ohlmiller 2-0. We appreciate your thoughts, Dempsey. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So they can put their feet up and watch Dowdy against Benson. Kayla Trainer getting congratulations. Ohlmiller an 11-7 victor. Thanks very much, Brian. Appreciate the update. Dempsey Arsenal jumping for joy with Team Oldmiller, an 11-7 winner in day 2 of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor. Courtney, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. There can only be one champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There are 56 women here playing on the roster. We continue to see great exploits day after day. Tons of highlights in these games. And in this particular game, it was high scoring early and then batten down the hatches late.
Very true. Lacrosse is generally a game of runs, and we saw that big time. First quarter, it was all about Team Oldmiller. Second quarter, all about Team O'Donnell. Initially, Sammy Jo Tracy getting Team O'Donnell on the board early, but then things turned over for Team Oldmiller. Allie Kennedy here with a nice little dodge, gaining space. Whenever defense is off of their mark, the attack is making them pay.
Arsenal to Trainer, that's a familiar combination for Team Oldmiller.
In transition, love the ball movement offensively for Team Oldmiller, and even miscues. Miscues were turning out in their favor. The first goal, that second goal, nice little flips here. Again, another man's junk is another man's treasure.
Stay on the ball, Allie Kennedy. She would convert. As Team Oldmiller was all over Kaylee Waters, they jumped out to a 7-1 lead.
Making things difficult is lack of communication defensively. However, offensively, you say, there's no need to talk. We're ready to head towards that cage.
Perella finds room and beats a diving Britt Reed. The draw control story was going Taylor Cummings' way for quite a while.
Taylor Cummings began to dominate. We saw some adjustments happen later in the game. Oldmiller deciding, let's start to empty her. Let's start to really get the ball out of her stick because she can be a freight train coming from that center circle.
It was quite a comeback for Team O'Donnell in purple. Wood would score there, her first goal as a pro. Majorana would also not be denied. Arsenal made it back to back to back.
Again, love that feeding, assisting capability, the ball sharing that Team Oldmiller had. Definitely different than what we saw O'Donnell, a lot of ISO situations.
Team O'Donnell went cold the final 15 minutes of the game. Team Oldmiller wins it 11-7 despite being outshot and not having the advantage of the draw circle.
Definitely advantage for Team O'Donnell at the draw, but they needed to translate that into goals. Another big difference was the difference in saves throughout that entire game. 12 saves for Team Oldmiller compared to just 4 for Team O'Donnell. That can mean everything.
4-point win for Team Oldmiller. They are 2-0 as a group. Everybody gets 45 points when you win. The individual point totals, every stat matters, and it's still defender Wood on top at 349 in the Geico leaderboard. Folks are getting their refreshments in between games. We're getting set for Dowdy and Benson coming up. We invite you to head to auprosports.com. You can get your Athletes Unlimited gear. Don't forget to follow on social at AU Pro Sports for exclusive inside content. Courtney, as we're getting set for that second game, Oldmiller looks like a force to be reckoned with. If you were defending against that squad, aside from having a rough night of sleep, what would you be getting ready for?
Oh gosh, making sure that you're prepared for tough contact, right? We see a lot of physicality in this game, and when you are on a roll offensively, the other defenses are going to take notice, and they're going to realize they need to step out on you, be tighter on your hands, making it more difficult for you to feed and shoot.
Goalies are busy at both ends. It was high scoring, and in the end, the team in gold was golden. Hallie Majorana and friends, an 11-7 victor. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports.